Everybody in here is a teacher. And one of the things I want to do today is convince you that you're a teacher. I want to tell you a story about a favorite teacher of mine, and it was a person that for less than an hour, he spent with me as a 7-year-old child and set me on a path to where I am today in my career. This guy who we all recognize as Ranger Bill, that was what we called him. And on this particular day in Perry Hall, Maryland, where I'm originally from, I was on my carpet square in Miss Trinko's elementary school class, and we were all anticipating Ranger Bill's visit. Ranger Bill was a park ranger with the Maryland Department of Natural Resources, and he brought with him into our classroom an owl and a hawk and a vulture and a snake and a turtle. And all of these animals were ambassadors of the messages that he was sharing. They were teaching tools. And I gotta tell you, I was on the edge of my carpet square. I mean, if you could be on the edge, we all were. Because this guy wasn't just educating us, he was edutaining us. This guy had an ability of turning down all the distractions in our mind and captivating us with animals. And he was there for less than an hour. And then he left, and I went home and told my parents about it. I said, my gosh, I know what I want to do when I grow up. I want to be like Ranger Bill. We ended up getting in touch with Ranger Bill, my parents and I, and to make a really long story short, I cleaned a lot of cages for Ranger Bill for about 8 years, sorry, to spend time with him. But I got to watch him teach in front of audiences and edutain in the way he captivated folks using animals. And I finally turned 16 years old, and Ranger Bill offered me a job with the Maryland Department of Natural Resources. It was a dream. And I'll never forget the day that a news broadcaster put a television camera in front of me. I was standing there holding an owl. But I remember this guy putting this camera in my face, and he called me. He said, I'm standing here talking to Ranger Nick. He said it. And right when he said Ranger Nick, I felt like I had really made it. I went on to college, first-generation college student, went on to college. But what I discovered as a student, as a graduate student, is the power that you can have when you spend a little time with somebody. And that's what hooked me into teaching. And it convinced me that not only was I a teacher, but all of us are teachers as well. As an educator, I love to capitalize on and harness teachable moments. And one of the things I do at the University of Georgia is I use animals in teaching. And I teach a class called Teaching with Animals. And it's just like it sounds. It's like a public speaking class, but involving animals. And I know that y'all are probably waiting for me to either trip over this box or what in the world is inside of this box that I brought with us today. We drove down from Athens, Georgia, just so this little lady could come out of this box. I'm gonna take her out and show her to you. And I talked to her because she is a sweetie. Hey, darling. This is an eastern box turtle. And this is an eastern box turtle that's missing a leg. As sad as it is, she had a little run-in with a lawnmower and survived it, but has been in our home for about 2 years and will remain for the rest of her life, which could be up to 80 years. The coolest thing about using an animal like this to do things like teach those life skills, communication, problem solving, critical thinking, thinking on your feet, is that this turtle helps to relieve public speaking anxiety. I want to tell you how. And I hope that she doesn't demonstrate it today. Okay, so don't do this, but I'm going to tell you. I have football players that take my class that are scared to death to stand up in front of an audience in class. They may stand in front of 90,000 people and run around with a football, but stand up and deliver a message in front of your peers. That's tough. Well, all of a sudden I introduce Sharon in my Teaching with Animals class, and I hand her to one of my students, a football player, let's say, or any other student, and they're holding Sharon. And all of a sudden, their anxiety seems to go down. And we actually study this, the influence of animals on reducing public speaking anxiety. So I'll watch a student and we'll actually videotape my students as they're teaching and holding an animal. And then something like this happens, and Sharon, don't do this, but all of a sudden, a teachable moment happens and Sharon pees, all right? It happens. And the student is standing there holding Sharon and she pees, and all of a sudden, the student laughs and the class laughs, and Sharon probably secretly laughs too, like, haha, gotcha. And then all of a sudden, from that point forward, their teaching is so much better. They capitalize on a teachable moment. They go with it. It's not scripted. This is a conversation we're having with an audience. That moment, that unplanned moment, does incredible things for that student in building confidence in their communication ability. So when unplanned things happen, teachable moments happen, we as teachers have a decision. We can either capitalize or we could ignore them. I say capitalize on it. Let's take advantage of that teachable moment. And before one of those teachable moments happens, darling, I'm gonna put you back, okay? Now that you're waving at everybody, aren't you just sweetie? Isn't that something? So I'm gonna put Miss Sharon back. That's what teaching's about. It's not just presenting. And I gotta tell you, at universities, we do a lot of presenting. We've gotta get back to teaching. Relationships, engagement, turning down the noise, all the distractions. It is absolutely about relationships. And I think that's something that's so powerful. So as you think about that today, as you leave here, think about how you can teach others, not just present to them. And I think that Maya Angelou said it best. People will forget what you said, they'll forget what you did, but I tell you what, they're gonna remember how you made them feel. Thanks for making me smile. I hope I made you smile. Y'all take care.